What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another ticker fee video and welcome to the ticker fee family. So the ticker symbol we're going to be talking about today is GEVO or GEVO, and what we're going to be talking about specifically is how the RNG project achieves financial closing, what is a Form 8K, followed by a chart analysis and a price prediction. Again, as always, guys, thank you so much for the support. The video has been being pushed a lot here recently, so I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. And just so you know, you can tell that GEVO is starting to expand and a lot more retail investors are really looking into this company, which again is only going to have an upward trajectory with this stock. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so if you're new to this channel or you've just been hearing about GEVO for the first time, what I want to point out is if you actually scroll down about 3 weeks, you'll actually see that I broke down the financial results for the Q4 for GEVO stock. So I just wanted to point that out. That way, if you want to know some of the facts and you're all about the numbers, you can actually check that channel or that video out. But if you don't know who GEVO is, so what they are is they transform renewable energy, okay, with carbon into energy dense liquid hydrocarbons. Now, these liquid hydrocarbons can be used for drop-in transportation fuels such as gasoline, jet fuel, diesel fuel, that when it's burnt, it'll have a potential to yield net zero greenhouse gas emissions, which that's what they're all about when measured across the full life cycle of the product. So GEVO uses low carbon renewable resource based carbohydrates as a raw material and is in an advanced state of developing renewable electricity and renewable natural gas for use in production processes. So keep that in mind. That way you know a little bit of the summary of the company itself when I'm talking about this news. So GEVO's RNG project achieves financial closing. So April 15, 2021, so just yesterday, announced that it had a close of $68,155,000 of green bond private activity bonds offering. So the green bond offering to finance the construction of its renewable natural gas. So you'll see that with the RNG. Now, the project is going to be located in northwest Iowa. So the RNG project will generate RNG captured from dairy cow manure or feedstock. So keep that in mind. Now, the feedstock for the RNG project will be supplied by 3 dairy farms located in northwest Iowa, totaling over, which I've highlighted, as you can see, 20,000 milking cows. Now, when fully operational, it'll have a generate or be able to generate or expected to approximately 355,000 MMBTU of RNG per year. So we'll see what that actually means. Now, GEVO is working with a major RNG dispenser to finalize the agreement to sell the RNG into the California market. So RNG sale revenues are expected to benefit from California's low carbon fueled standard or LCFS, the program, and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency Renewable Identification Number program. Now, a few other things that I highlighted and what I want to mention with their net zero project is GEVO fully funded the RNG project development, which costs and 100% of its equity capital from cash reserves. Now, GEVO received approximately $9.3 million in reimbursement for development, long lead equipment, and financing costs occurred during the development period upon closing of the green bond offering. So that's going to be a catalyst that's going to affect the chart. So I wanted to point this out. Now, construction of the RNG project is expected to begin by the end, which I underlined, of April 2021, and the startup is expected in early 2022. Now, GEVO will submit an LCFS pathway application to the California Air Resources Board and expects to realize full cash flows from the LCFS credits and RINS in the second half of 2022. Now, the RNG project is then expected to generate cash for the GEVO of approximately 9 to 16 million per year of credits and RINs, which is great. So I wanted to point that out. Now, The RNG project is expected to serve as an important component for the GEVO's net zero strategy. But here's the other thing I wanted to highlight, which is going to be this last paragraph. Okay, so the proceeds of the green bond offering combined with GEVO equity will be used to finance the construction of the RNG project, which is comprised of 3 anaerobic digesters and related equipment situated on dairy farms located again in Iowa. Okay, now that's going to be as well as gathering pipelines to transport biogas to a centrally located gas upgrade system, as well as a centrally located gas upgrade system located in, again, Iowa. So for more information and details about the green bond offering, please see the current report on Form 8K that GEVO filed with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission on April 15, 2021. So let's check out what the Form 8K is. So what is an 8K? So it is a report of unscheduled material events or corporate changes at a company that could be of importance to the shareholders, okay, so that's going to be us, of the SEC, also known as Form 8K. So the report notifies that the public of events, including acquisitions, bankruptcy, the resignation of directors, or changes in the fiscal year. So these are the key takeaways. So it is a valuable source of complete and unfiltered information for the investors and the researchers. So I wanted to point this out again, that way you know as a shareholder. Okay, so as you can see, April 15th, 2021, the 8K, what you're looking at is the Regulation FD disclosure, entry into a material definitive agreement, the financial statements and exhibits, as well as the creation of a direct financial obligation or an obligation under an off-balance sheet arrangement of a registrant, which is going to be your Form 8K. Okay, so we've been going for a journey for a while now, but as you can see, we had an upward trend for quite a while, which brought us all the way up to $15.57, which was a great ride. So, but of course, during March, you can see that we had a trickle down effect, and so there was a lot of resistance, which is not a surprise because during March, there was a huge correction for what happened in the previous year. So you have a red body and even a long wick, so just keep that in mind, because just on the day that we had, which was on February 12th, of $15.57, there was 20 million volume of trade. But then as you can see right here on March the 5th, we had 32 million, and so we didn't have as much support. But throughout this month, we've had a great correction, which I've seen this a lot in many stocks. So we had to hold out, and so which is great now that we've gotten through it, and now we're in the middle of April, so things are a little bit better. But again, you can see that we've had a few pops, but then we've been brought down trying to create that new support line. But then we had this little dip here, but with the infrastructure plan and whatnot, I feel like that's going to cater to us majorly, especially since this stock itself wants to go green, and that's what the company is all about. So keep that in mind. Now when I expand it here, just on the 16th, we actually finished with a green body, which is great, which means that it closed higher than what it opened up at, which is always going to be good information. But I think part of that is because GEVO's RNG project achieves that financial closing. So we're going to need some more catalysts, so that way we can breach that resistance and then have a new support line, which is going to be really important, because on today we had 12 million trades. So again, that's going to be your buys and your sells. So but the good thing is that you can see that we had the wick and it climbed a little bit, so it was at 6.6. But the other thing is that I want you to keep in mind, which I feel like is really good, is that this stock specifically is becoming more of a retail type of stock. So there are going to be a lot more people that are going to be involved in this stock, and a lot more people are catering to this stock, and so they're keeping an eye on it. So it could be speculative for some people or whatnot, but I feel like there's quite a few that's trying to make this long term. So again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I like giving you the updates on what these results are, what's going on in the pre-market, aftermarket, whatever the case is. That way you can make the best financial results for yourself. So it's been exciting because, again, just this week itself, you can see that a lot of companies was letting us know what was going on in their Q4 and their overall 2020 financial results, right? So we were able to get a lot of those earnings, and what those expectations were, and to see if these companies were falling through. So that also affected the market. So keep that in mind. But I hope this was extra added value. I enjoy talking about this stock. All these stocks that I talk about on my channel, I really do enjoy, especially when I have skin in the game. So I'm constantly trying to figure out what the latest trend is, what's going on with that information, what's going on with the product and the services that these companies are providing to all these individuals and these companies. So keep that in mind. Leave a comment down below if you own this stock, if you're thinking about buying this stock, or if you've had it and you're holding on to it short term or long term. I really enjoy these comments. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for listening to the video, and welcome to the Ticker Fee family.